Great morning.
Great morning.
Great morning.
Great morning.
And welcome back to another episode of Great Morning. I am your host, Christian Murmur, Merms, Mermdog, whatever the fuck you want to call me. And to the top left of my computer screen, we have the Fact Queen, my sister from the East, that Puerto Rican mamacita from Spanish Harlem, Stephanie 2.0. How you doing?
Gang motherfucking gang. Are you okay?
Oh, we're fine. How are you doing?
I'm fucking great. I'm smoking a blunt.
Yeah.
I had a very, very, very stressful week at work.
Yep.
I'm on a new drug medication prescribed to me.
We wanted to talk about that for a second.
Yeah, and I'm really, really excited about it.
I'm really, really excited about these drugs.
Yeah, I'm really excited. And I'm excited for the month of June. You know, a lot of things are happening this month. And
Happy Pride.
Well, yeah, that too, but I wasn't really talking about that.
I know.
Oh.
I know you were.
And I saw Matt Walsh's movie or documentary, What is a Woman?
Yes, and we are not going to really talk about that today.
No.
Just because of the social implications, we don't want to discuss that. Well, I feel like we discussed enough of that in the last episode.
No, I wanted to say how great it was.
That's fine. You can say it was great. But yeah, I think that's going to be the extent of it. What I know we did want to talk about, though, was the medication you're on, which I have stories about as well. But do you? What is the name of the medication, Stephanie? I don't want to spoil it. You spoil it.
Oh, it's Vyvanse.
Vyvanse. So Vyvanse, for anyone who does not know, any of the listeners out there, anyone in this computer call with us, this Zoom call, Vyvanse is like Adderall, where it makes you focus. It lasts a while too. I think it's
like 12 to 14 hours.
Yeah, it's a long time. But yeah, it's pretty much Adderall. And Stephanie, you've been on it now for what? You said a week?
A week. And
that's why you kind of you sound a little more lively now. Maybe it was the blunt, or maybe we just got you talking more. But beforehand, when you first came on, it was just you and I at first, and I immediately noticed how you sounded a little bit like a zombie. That's the problem with the Vyvanse, is like you're like, hey. I'm very focused right now. How is everyone else doing? It's very zombie-esque.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, the reason I knew about that drug is I used to, back when I was in high school, this is how stupid I was. I was in high school and I had this girlfriend and she was prescribed to it and she didn't take it all the time. So I would say to her, like, hey, can I have some of that? And she'd be like, yeah, sure. And she would give me it. I remember the first time she gave me it, it was back when, do you guys remember the mobile game? It was called Flappy Bird. Do you remember that game?
Yeah.
Flappy Bird?
Yeah. And so I'm in the back of my science class and we were like watching a movie and I wasn't paying attention. I was just so focused on Flappy Bird. And I swear to God, I think I have a screenshot of it somewhere, but on that shit, I might have gotten like close to the world record of not hitting those pipes. That's how, and I'm just back there for like 45 minutes, just staring at my phone, super focused. But yeah, that was the problem. People said you're like a zombie, because I remember I went to lunch with my friends, like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? And I'm like, nothing. I'm just very focused on everything right now.
Yeah,
it's a very intense drug.
It is. And like, so at work, so like this week, I was dealing with enrolling the company's employees to our newest medical insurance. And the girl that started the Excel spreadsheet, she just like fucked up everything. Like, I mean, social securities were not with the right person. It was just intense. And then like the template just was a fucking mess. I really cannot stress it enough. And for 4 days, I was so fucking focused on this project, because it was a project for me. And I mean, everything had to, like, everything had to match. So originally I had like, I was so annoyed with how everything was just like so fucked up. And now I'm like, it's crazy because now I have the brain capacity to like really like fix this whole shit. And I
can tell you're on it right now.
Yeah. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
It's crazy. Everybody that was on the spreadsheet, I had them in one pile, and each and every single person was in order on the template and in front of me. And then I had another pile like for people that didn't want medical insurance. And then I had another pile for people that were missing socials. And then another pile with people that were supposedly active, but I had their application and they opted out of having medical insurance. So now I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I had purple sticky notes, right? And then it annoyed the shit out of me that I could not tell the difference of which pile was which. So now I had to go and find the other sticky notes that I had that were in different colors. And I color coordinated each and every single pile to make my life so much easier. And
I'm cracking up. I'm cracking up because
so anal about shit.
Right now, I can tell you're on Vyvanse because you're getting really in depth with a spreadsheet. And it's like, I know the listeners are like, why is Stephanie talking about a spreadsheet for 3 minutes straight? That's why I'm laughing right now. All right. Well, Stephanie,
because it was so stressful.
Listen, I'm glad you're on it. And I hope it works out well for you. And we'll talk more about it coming up here, but I want to go ahead and start introducing some of the other people we have in this Zoom call. But yeah, it's great to hear from you as always. To the bottom right of my computer screen. Wait, and you know what? I'm not going to introduce this man how I normally introduce him because there's something new we have to do, actually. So, Jimmy, you're there, right?
Oh, I'm here.
You are here. All right, Jimmy, there was some good news that happened in your life. You told me, I think, almost about 3 weeks ago. And it officially happened about a couple days ago. Is that correct?
Yeah, man.
Do you want to tell us what happened?
Congrats.
I got a promotion.
Yes. Congrats.
So you are now at the rank of what? What is it called?
Senior chief.
Senior chief. All right. And with that being said, with that being said, to the bottom right of my computer screen, we have the boss, the pimp, the CEO, the senior chief, slightly special himself, Jimmy the Shooter. How you doing today?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
How you been, man? We haven't heard from you since the special, actually.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I meant like we haven't heard from you since the special. That's what I said. Yes, we can hear you.
If you can't tell, man, I've been very sleep deprived.
Have you?
Also, yeah, man, it's a lot of blessings coming my way. Moving forward in life in a lot of different ways, which is really cool. Taking a couple steps back in others. But you know what I mean? It's all about keeping the grit and going, keeping the grind and pushing. So pretty excited. Still got to set up my office. So I actually have a place to do a podcast in a new place. So I'm really excited to get that all established. And then work has been pretty dope. It's really weird, man, being an E8 because now there's only one more rank to go. And even then, like you kind of work hand in hand with each other. So it's just weird because you're like, I don't know how to explain it, man. It's just super weird. Can't tell me shit.
I'm sure you'll get used to it because it's only been a few days. But again, from the bottom of my heart, and I'm sure I'm speaking for everyone here as well and all of our listeners and my family as well, but congratulations, a big congratulations to you. You're a very young man to achieve that rank. And you've only been in the Navy how many years? 14, right? Something like that?
Yeah, 15 in July.
15 in July. So that's still like, I know we've met guys that it's taken them 20 years to get to senior chief. Or even chief, for that matter, I feel like.
Yeah, average span for chief is 17 or 18 years in some rates. But honestly, man, it's not even me. It's the team, bro. Honestly, like the only reason I'm getting promoted is because of the people that are working under me. And I've been very blessed and fortunate with timing. And I've been very blessed and fortunate to always have like really good sailors and a really good fucking team. And there's always those hitters out there that are willing to work just as hard for not only me, but for themselves. So they grow and make rank. And I think that's how the whole system works, man. It's like humility and then giving back. And then the more you give to your sailors, the more that they'll give and work for you. And next thing you know, everybody just starts eating. So shout out to the team, man. Shout out to the squad. That's really the only reason people make rank in the first place.
What a humble answer. You are a humble man. But again, yes, congratulations to you and the team. I'm really happy to hear it. I'm glad you're here with us now. But I'm going to go ahead and introduce another person we have here in the podcast with us. To the top right of my computer screen, we have our in-studio comedian, Topazkin Shubsway Chuck. My friend, how are you doing today?
Yo, what's good? Massive congrats, man. To the senior chief. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Love you, dude. Love you, bro.
Love you, bro.
How you been, Chuck?
Yeah.
We haven't seen you either since the special, since we were in the ice bath.
Yeah, man. And I think I need to do another one because my back is feeling it. And I will tip for men out there. Like the next day or so, you got some good stroke you can throw in there. That ice bath kind of it helps.
That
Are you saying it helped with erectile dysfunction? Is that what you're saying?
Not dysfunction, but more function. You know what I mean?
More function.
Your joints.
All right, I like
Your
that.
joints are nice and ready.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Hey, big dog, try the closet. It's a nice studio, nice acoustics. Just shoot the shot. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna check.
Yeah. Try the closet.
Try the closet.
Try the closet. That's the best at-home studio there is inside.
Yeah,
the closet.
try the closet.
Hey, rappers make millions in closets.
Why you bullshitting? You right.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. Well, Chuck, thank you again for coming on as always. And we're so happy to hear from you. But if you guys are, Stephanie, do you think it's time?
I think it's fucking time.
Okay, Jimmy, do you think it's time?
It is time. It is the
Chuck,
time.
Chuck, do you think it's time?
It is time.
I think it's
Now is
time.
the time.
Yeah, I think all of us believe it is time to introduce. We have a guest with us today, and this guest is a returning guest. Actually, he's been on his own episode in the past, not this season, last season, and he was actually a runner-up in the Word of the Day competition for last year as well. I forget exactly what place he got. We will talk to him about that in a second. But I want to go ahead and introduce our friend and fellow podcastateer, as I like to say, or posketeer, as Stephanie likes to say, from Truth Be Told Sports Podcast, our friend King Hulie. How you doing today, bro?
What's up, guys? What is up? What is up? What is up? Hey, man, thank you for having me back, bro. I told you, like, I'm a fan of the show. This is my third appearance. I'm gunning for that fifth appearance, and I want to get a smoker's jacket with the number 5, like they do on Saturday Night Live.
I know. I was thinking we should do that
That's
for all the
fine.
people.
I want to do that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I love the show. I love the content. Jimmy, congratulations, dude. I'm very proud. That's very impressive to make E8 in 15 years, dude. So keep doing your thing, dude.
Hey, thank you, man. It's
Yes,
good
sir.
to
Yes,
see
sir.
you, man. I'm glad you're back.
Hey, I'm glad to be back. Glad to be back.
How you been, man, since you were on our season finale last year for season 4? Oh, and please remind me, do you remember what place you got
Fourth.
on the top 10?
Fourth place. Ever since I saw that trophy, I'm gunning for it. I played my wife and I, we had some friends over last night. We were playing against Cards Against Humanity. I was like, this is perfect practice for Word of the Day. So
Yep.
I've been practicing. I want to get higher than 4th place. I want to win the motherfucker, to be honest with you. So
Hell yeah.
let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Later in this episode, you will have a chance again at the
Let's
Word.
go.
Look at Chuck.
Let's go.
Chuck's getting so pissed.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's
Chuck
go.
want to win so bad. Chuck wants to win so bad.
I know. And shout out, what's
I
going on,
do.
Chuck? How you doing, brother?
I
man?
do. I want to win.
Yeah, I want to
Chuck,
win that thing. So.
Chuck, unfortunately, he can't win anymore because now he's like officially part of the podcast. But he did, and to help him, I'm sure everyone did this on purpose to make Chuck feel better, or maybe he really was the better one. But he beat me in our little quick Word of the Day competition we had while we were in the ice bath, which that was stolen from me. I gotta be honest. I listened back to that. I was like,
How dare you?
That was fucking stolen from me.
How dare
they
you?
gave
It was
to
so
Chuck.
organic. It was so organic.
Oh, mine wasn't. I was in the ice bath too. How is mine not organic?
I don't know what it is. But you took it better than me.
Yeah, I think
Maybe-
you might have had more ice in there.
Well, to be fair, Mermsy is from the East Coast, you know, so he's used to that cold weather. At least he's been in cold weather a little bit longer than we have over here on the West Coast.
But I've never been in an ice bath. That had to have been the coldest thing I've ever put my body through. I think, like, even being outside in the snow, you're usually like covered up. So I think that was the coldest I've ever been, really, when I think about it. I've never just gone into ice water.
I started looking into it, and apparently cold weather is really good for your skin. Like, it keeps your skin tight. You know what I mean? It's good for your joints and your bones and stuff like that. People in Alaska, like, they look pretty freaking good, so they're really old.
Yeah, or those, you ever look at those like fucking Norwegians, or those like the people in Sweden, like those blonde women they got there?
Mhm.
Holy fuck, dude. Like, bro. If you're listen, do yourself a favor after this podcast and look up like a Norwegian woman, and they look like angels. It's like, what the fuck?
It's the cold. I'm all lounged over.
All you gotta do is look up Tiger Woods' lineup.
Yeah,
his
that's
lineup.
point.
He got
His
a line.
fucking
He got a lineup.
Yeah, of course.
Tiger Woods. How many babies does Tiger Woods have?
I think just 2 that we know of course.
2 that we know of. Everyone
Yeah.
else is on an NDA.
Oh, absolutely.
All the other mamas is on the NDA, getting paid off to the side.
I would do
Gotta be.
that too. You know what? Yeah, you got.
Well, I mean, with the way he broke up with his last girl, that was like highly
Oh,
publicized.
that was crazy.
Yeah, the way he broke up with her, like through his lawyer. So
That shit was
yeah, that's
hilarious.
assume everybody else is.
You want to tell us for the listeners on what happened, like how that went down?
Oh,
It's a
well,
sports expert.
he actually told her that they were going to go on a trip, and instead, while she was gone or meeting him at the airport, he had the locks changed on the door, and he had his lawyer meet her at the airport, letting know that they broke up and that she can't come back to the house. So she sued him for like $30 million.
Did she win?
No,
Dang,
shit's savage.
dang. There was a
Why
soccer
would she?
player-
Why would she sue him for that?
That's I don't know. Like, why would you just got broke up with? That's about it.
You can
You wasting
argue
time.
In certain states, and it doesn't always work anymore. It used to be more prevalent. I learned this recently, so I don't want to sound like I'm an expert on this. But there's a thing called common law marriage. And they describe a relationship as common law marriage when you live with your girlfriend, you both like are paying for the place you're staying at, like you share cars, or you've met their kids or her kids, and like you've lived together almost as you're married for like I think it has to be over a year, and then they call that common law marriage, not necessarily like you're going on dates with a girl. So
I think
they
it's more
used
than
to
a
be
year.
able to. It might be more than a year. Like I said, I'm not an expert on this, but that's what it used to be called. And you used to be able to like what Tiger Woods did, or say like I was in a situation like that. I broke up with a girl, changed the locks. She could technically fight against that. Like, well, I live there too, and we've been together, like we're married for a certain amount of time. So that you can do it, but it doesn't always work. And it looks like it did not work in her case for Tiger Woods. So like I said, I don't think it's as common anymore.
It says here, common law marriage. Common law marriage is allowed in a minority of states. A common law marriage is legally recognized marriage between two people who have not purchased a marriage license or had their marriage solemnized by a ceremony. Not all states have the status addressing common law marriage, and some state case law and public policy determine the validity. But there's a note. It is not a legal service that's the note for the website. NCLSL.
That's the description for the website. Yeah, it's like I said, it's not held in court in a lot of states, so it really depends on where you try to fight it. And like what happened there, sometimes it doesn't even work. It's kind of hard to prove that you're living more as husband and wife, or spouses, I should say, than dating. So there was always that trouble with it. So it's kind of like we're kind of like pushing. That's one of those laws that's kind of like, let's just slowly push that out the door and just make it about regular marriage. Right. But yeah, so Tiger Woods did that. I wanted to ask you, have you been keeping track of the Stanley Cup playoffs?
Absolutely, man. I'm a Miami Heat fan, and to watch the Florida Panthers do what they did on parallel, like through hockey, as Miami has done. Kachuk is like a beast. But I've with the Knights, with Vegas, I followed them since they came in, and they've been a great team since they've been in the league. So like to watch them get there. So like I don't know who I want to take, who I feel like will take that. I kind of I guess I'll pull for Vegas. I guess
who's still in the playoffs, because I stopped watching. So I'm from New Jersey, so I'm a big Devils fan. So it's very. By the way, I know they're not in the playoffs; they got kicked out, but I was so fucking happy to see them beat the Rangers in the playoffs. Yeah, I was fucking stoked. Fuck New York. I was so happy. The Rangers and the Devils are like, that's the biggest rivalry, maybe like the East Coast of hockey. And they went in the playoffs together, and it went to game 7. That's what was even more intense. So it's like, at first it's like, oh, the Devils are losing. Fuck. Oh no, the Rangers are losing. Oh wait, the Rangers won that last. And it's like, oh fuck, we're game 7. This is it. The last game. The
It's
Devils
still too soon. It's still too. I'm a Rangers fan.
Oh, so, you are?
I'm a Rangers fan, so
I'm so happy.
Whoa, I didn't know that. Sorry.
Good for you, man. Sorry. That was a fantastic series. Of course, like I really, obviously wanted the Rangers to beat New Jersey, but shit happens, I guess.
I know. I think we just had I think it came down because the Rangers are a great team, and they were a great team this year. And it was so close throughout the regular series too. They were like neck and neck, like second and third place for Metropolitan. But then the Rangers, I think what they struggled with is a lot of their players, their key players, are a lot older than the Devils. Devils got these young 20, 22-year-old dudes that they've got that energy to just, I can do this for 7 games straight.
Right.
So I think that's what ultimately came out. But you watch those first 2 games, and I was ready to be like, the Devils are fucking done. The Rangers were killing them.
Man,
you gave up.
I didn't give up because I kept watching, but I mean, like deep down, you can't help but be like, because the first game wasn't something crazy like 0-5 or something like that. And I'm
we murdered you guys. Like,
the Rangers smoked.
I was like, this is a wrap. This is a wrap. And then I'm watching the updates and the highlight. The other updates come in, and I'm like, oh shit, this is going to game 7. I didn't expect it to go to game 7.
I know. So that was really. It was
wild. It was wild. That
was a good playoff face-off. So I'm sorry for your Rangers, but it's okay. Hey, listen, the Devils are out too. After that, the Devils won. We're like, yay, maybe they'll go to the Stanley Cup, and then they just lose. And I was like, all right, well,
lost.
They tried.
We had a win, so that gives me hope that they'll get in the playoffs again next year. But anyway,
that's a good team.
Enough about our favorite teams for that. But who is left? Because I kind of stopped paying attention, like I said, after the Devils were out. Who's left in the playoffs, or is it about to go to the Stanley Cup?
It's the Stanley Cup now. It's Florida and Vegas. They're matching up in the Stanley Cup. I think game 1 was last night or was tonight. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. I wonder what the score was for that. I guess I'd be willing to accept the Knights taking it.
They're a young team. Very young franchise.
And usually, it's not always true, but I feel like the East Coast teams usually always do better than the West Coast. So
they're around hockey a lot more, though.
Yeah, exactly. Well, exactly.
That's culturized on the East Coast. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So usually the East Coast teams do that, because that's what like a lot of people were saying. They thought the Knights were going to take it for the West anyway. And I remember people saying like, okay, the hardest part for the Devils is going to be the Rangers and whoever they play after that. And after that, right, if the Devils just get to the Stanley Cup, they could beat the Knights. That's what people were saying. But I don't know. The Knights are really good. And I don't know. I'd be fine with whoever took it. But I don't know. Now we got to look up. I want to look up who Stanley Cup game 1, right?
It's in the finals now?
It's today.
It's the finals today.
So the game is 8 p.m. Eastern.
That's at the same time as the doggone Heat and the Nuggets.
See, I'm watching the Heat game. I gotta watch the Heat.
Oh yeah. So you've been keeping track. I know your favorite sport, right? Is baseball.
That's correct.
When we last talked to you.
Right.
Yeah. So baseball, I know, is also back on. Are you a Yankees fan?
No, die hard. The Yankees are here to play the the Dodgers this weekend. I'm hoping I can make it to tomorrow's game because I have some stuff going on today. So hopefully I can make it out there.
How are the Yankees doing so far? My cousin, she's a huge fan of the Yankees, but then it's weird. She's a fan of the Yankees. So that's my dad's side, but then on my mom's side, they're all Mets fans.
Okay.
So I get like confused because I'll go over like their place and they're like watching the Mets, and then she'll come over and she'll be like, "Why the fuck are the Mets on? Let's watch the Yankees." And I'm like, "Oh shit."
What's a Met though? What's a Met?
What's a Met?
Yeah,
like the baseball team?
Yeah, what's a Met?
Oh, like what is
like the Metropolitan?
Yeah,
right? Like the Metro.
yeah. That's
what it. That's what it is.
That's what it stands for. Yeah.
You named your team after
a metropolitan,
a social status symbol of a city.
I didn't name them. I was not alive when they were named.
Somebody said, "You know what? This team's gonna represent this entire goddamn metropolitan."
I got a funny story for you, Hulie, about my grandpa. He started watching baseball back the fucking 40s or 50s, and that was back when the Dodgers, right? I think they were in New York.
They were in Brooklyn
before they went to so they were the Brooklyn Dodgers, and he was a fan of them. But then they went to California, and he said, he's like, "And Christian, I had a choice. Either I'm going to be a Yankees fan or a Mets fan." And he's like, "And I chose fucking wrong," because he's a Mets fan. And like every time they play, he's like, every game, if like someone gets a strike or just like the most minor thing happened, the score could still be 0-0. He just sits there and he's like, "They're fucking done. The Mets are they're fucking done." He just gets
he's
so
seen
angry.
it before.
Why they can't
plenty of years of disappointment.
Why they can't just change their name and prefix it like the New England Patriots?
It's such a
stupid fucking name.
You're the only person I've met that I think is upset with that name.
He's stewing over here.
Because the New England Patriots, you know what I mean? They say, "All right, we're representing this." They named the team after that. Like a Met is what the fuck is that? It sounds like a bug. They should have just said Metropolitan Jaguars or something weird like that. That would have been cool.
There's so much to say. Mets, just you know what I mean? Mets.
The Mets. Here come the Mets. Here come the Mets.
Here
How's that song go?
The Mets coming onto the field.
It's the Metropolitans. The Metropolitans are coming.
We got it all going on. We got a
Metropolitans are coming.
Doesn't sound intimidating at all.
Metropolitans. Just a bunch of guys in business suits throwing a ball.
Top of the fifth. Top of the fifth.
Hulie, do you ever get upset's not the word, but possibly annoyed or disgruntled, perhaps, when people say, because I feel like as time has gone on, people have not taken such a liking to baseball. They find it a little more boring compared to football. You can probably argue that football is the most important sport now in America, at least. Obviously soccer is the most popular in the world, but like football in America is probably the most popular. And it used to be like baseball used to be the fucking thing. Like it's nicknamed America's pastime. It used to be the fucking thing. And I feel like slowly now they're just getting bored with it. It's not as like action packed as, like I said, football or even hockey or even basketball for that matter. Basketball, they're constantly moving back and forth. So it's appealing to the eye, at least. Like baseball, there's a lot of waiting and, but there's a lot of strategy in baseball as well, but we can get into that later. But do you ever get disgruntled when people tell you like, I find baseball boring or it's not as fun as other sport?
At first, yeah, I used to, because I would try to explain to them like the sport, because I see it is to me, watching baseball, growing up watching baseball, growing up playing baseball, it's like art. Yeah. It's like poetry in motion in certain plays. So, I love the sport. When someone says it's boring, I tell them why I disagree with them. And they probably, get upset by, with me, but telling them, well, it's still boring. It's still trash. Well, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But I used to, but not anymore. It's so much, you can try your own opinion.
Yeah,
I know baseball is doing things to try to bring people back. They're changing the rules up a little bit, bring a lot more action, like with the pitch clock and all this stuff like that.
Yeah, the pitch clock now. Yeah,
to me, they wasting all that time, dude. Just bring back steroids. That's what people want to see.
My
Yeah,
dad
people
they
said,
always made
yeah.
it interesting. Yeah.
People,
I remember-
when people were hitting
remember,
Mark McGuire, when everybody was hitting home runs, and and Roger Clemens was like was roiding out and throwing bats at Mike Piazza. Baseball was at its height.
oh,
Bring
yeah.
back steroids. I said,
My
that's all you gotta
dad
do.
was saying not long ago, he's like, if I ever became commissioner of baseball, first of all, I'm going to let them use chewing tobacco again. He's like, it's fucking bullshit. Like, they can't have chewing tobacco. And it's like, because,
They
well,
they can't.
no.
Mm-mm.
Not
That
on the
was
field,
like
not for
symbolic.
MLB.
That big ass fucking.
Oh, yeah. They'd have
Yeah.
the fucking big ass,
big
like their
wide
cheek
ass,
would be
yeah.
sticking out, spitting. They're standing there. The coach is out there. He's just got a glob all fucking day out there, like standing by first base, like fucking spitting.
It became about image and money. Like, once they figured out baseball is lucrative,
yeah.
everybody
So,
wants. Yeah, it became about the image.
it did totally become
Yeah.
about the image. What's interesting though is I know maybe you could argue that it's becoming less popular in the United States, but baseball is actually extremely popular now, and it's gotten even more popular in Asian countries, especially Japan. They love baseball.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of South American countries, like a lot of Latino players are playing now. They fucking
Of
love
course.
baseball.
Oh, yeah.
And I was wondering, maybe we discussed this too. I wonder how it got to Japan, because that was an American thing. So I wonder if it was after World War II.
I'll tell you how. I'll tell you how.
Okay.
Yeah. Their fucking youth program blew the fuck out of us one year, and it just blew up. That's what happened. I watched it on live TV.
I think it was earlier than that. I think it was earlier than our time, is what I'm
We
saying.
got our ass smoked one year in our youth program. I said, what the hell, these Asian motherfuckers? Well, that sounds real bad. Not Asian motherfuckers.
Yeah, they know what you mean. They know.
But that's what I said. These little Asian motherfuckers are fucking smacking the shit out of that baseball. And they just had old little Timmy Joe Johnson throwing those heater pitches, but he was getting that shit smacked. And yeah, dog, that's what happened. I watched it on live TV.
Oh shit. And I just looked it up. And then we'll get back to something. Oh, I'm sorry. I was wrong. I was a little off with when I thought baseball made it to Japan. All right, let's play quick game. What give me a year with the decade that you think baseball went over to Japan. You don't have to give me the exact year. You don't have to be like 1792. Like,
I'll tell you.
1790s or 1830s.
Fuck no.
All right, Chuck, when?
It was the 2000s. These motherfuckers sucked ass back then. They fucked us up. Right? It was the youth baseball championship, and these little Asian motherfuckers.
Okay, so
fucked
the
us up.
2000s. Okay,
Yes.
that seems pretty current.
that seems
It
pretty
was-
current.
it was current as
23
fuck.
years ago.
Let me see. I guess. Man, probably the 1890s.
1890s. Okay, Jimmy, do you have a guess?
So what was going down in the 1890s?
Not
That
no
might be the
damn
right
baseball.
answer. Okay, let me go over
So
history in the 1890s.
all right, so when was baseball started?
1901. It's when the fucking Cubs.
baseball
When
is
the
a lot
Cubs
older
won
than
they
that.
shit.
Baseball.
When
old.
it was
Baseball is
shit.
old. It's old.
It was shit until the Cubs won a championship in 1901, and
They-
then it became a thing.
So championships was in 1901. He's saying 1890s. I'm gonna say the 1850s, 60s,
Give me one.
1855.
Okay, you could have just said
All right.
50. All right, cool. 1850s. Stephanie, do you have a guess for us?
She
Oh,
cheated.
She's looking it up.
She cheated. I saw it. I saw it. I
She
saw
cheated.
it. I saw it. I saw it.
All right.
No.
Get off the drugs. You can't lie no more. Yeah, the drugs made it obvious.
hyper-focused.
Because
that you
baseball's
lied.
got to
Okay.
be. That's 1,000 years. Was that 1,000? That's 100 years. It's definitely more than a. Is it 100 years old?
Yeah, but Asian people weren't baseball.
What I'm
it
saying
up.
is
100
for
and some change,
Japan.
maybe 200.
All right, well, it's okay. I've got the answer for you now, and I'm gonna have to. I believe going correctly, Jimmy is the closest.
Get it, I got it,
Baseball.
yeah.
Baseball was introduced to Japan in 1872, and is
Wow.
Japan's most popular
Wow.
participatory and spectator sport. The first professional competitions emerged in the 1920s. Again, this is for Japan. The highest level of baseball in Japan is Nippon Professional Baseball, which consists of two leagues, the Central League, the Pacific League, with 6 teams in each league.
Okay, so now we got to find out what was going on in Japan in in that time, the 1870s.
Yeah, so that's way before World War II. I thought it was. If I were to guess, if someone asked me that question, I would have said the 1950s because I figured with all the American troops there after World War II, they would have brought baseball over. That would have been my logical answer, but I was almost off by 80 years.
I guess too early, trying to be not correct but not wrong, but at the same time, I'm like, it can't be earlier than this. Just because of Hulie over here saying like 1800s, I'm in that ballpark range because I'm like, that's what this man does.
I must be way.
I don't know, man. Chuck said the 2000s.
these motherfuckers, I'm like,
railroad time.
They're ignorant to everything until now, I guess.
I was trying to think around the railroad time.
Yeah,
because I know that a lot of Asians, did a lot of work on the railroad.
Yes. The only thing. A little history here. The only difference is they were mostly Chinese, from what I believe. So I could see it's still not regional. But I mean, it wasn't long after that until it got to Japan. That's for probably maybe another podcast. We can look up exactly how it got to Japan. But yeah, that's
railroads. How railroads got to Japan?
No, baseball.
Baseball got to Japan.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know the answer.
Do they even have? I wonder if they had like different size baseballs and bats.
Oh yeah,
what if they had different plates and all that shit?
Baseball. Yeah, no. When baseball was originated, and it's interesting, some people still play it how it was originally made. If you guys are ever bored, there's a funny YouTube video. It was actually who Conan O'Brien is, the old talk show host, red hair, tall guy. He did an episode of his show where he found these people that go out and they play like old fashioned baseball, and they like do the whole thing, like they dress up like from like they're 1800s or something, and they're playing, and like the bats, they looked more like cricket bats where they're like flatter, and the pitcher, they kind of threw it more like a softball pitch, like underhand, and it's weird because they all played sports back then, but they were in like suits. So like there's no like shorts or even like the baseball pants. They'd like hit it and then they'd like jog over in their suit and like hat and run over to first base. It's kind of funny to watch, and he talks with them if you're ever bored to watch that. But
they were baseballing in slacks.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh yeah,
old uniforms. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Which it's not that surprising to see someone run in slacks if you ever have watched the sport of basketball. I don't know if you guys have ever seen those fucking referees running up and down that court with them, but they're in fucking slacks and dress shoes too. So you can fucking run and do that shit. Shane Gillis had that joke where he was making fun of how girls wear skimpy shorts when they play volleyball. And this volleyball player was arguing with him like, no, it makes us more aerodynamic. That's why we have to have those short shorts. And he's like, bitch, shut up. Like, that's not true. Like, I see those referees out there during basketball. They're not in fucking shorts. They're running like that, man. The whole fucking game running back and forth. So, yeah, I don't know. That's funny.
Well, you got to feel some seats somehow.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I think that's what he was arguing for. Is like, I think we all know why we like watching women's volleyball. But yes, enough about tight asses and short shorts here. It's funny. We've actually already been talking for a while here, and I gotta ask, Stephanie, do you think it's time?
I think it's time.
Okay, Jimmy, do you think it's time?
Yes.
Chuck, do you think it's time?
Give me a minute.
Yeah, I'll give you a minute.
It's motherfucking time.
I think it's time that we give our friend here, King Hulie, the chance to once again, possibly, not only get on the top 10 list, but possibly number 1. We will see right here. I think it is time that we
moment
do
I've been waiting for.
The moment he's been waiting for. It is time for us to do the word of the day.
Hulie don't suck.
Word of the day. Oh,
it's okay if you do.
Yeah, it's
it's okay.
How it is.
It's totally fine.
Sometimes people, I don't want to phase you out here, but I know like there have been people who, like, for instance, so the first time we did the word of the day competition, our friend Harlow Harrison, she made 2nd place. And then the next season when she came on, she didn't even get on the top 10. So it's very.
I've been listening. There's been some tough ones.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to infiltrate the top 10 list. I'm going to throw myself in the number 7 spot right now. All right.
It's funny because like we're gonna have to grade at the end of the season. Chuck's gonna be grading, and we're all gonna be looking at it because we don't look at each other's grades until it's done. That way it's fair, like we're not cheating.
Yeah.
And we'll look at the end and we'll be like, why is Chuck on the list? Like, why? Who's been upvoting Chuck? He didn't even do a word.
How does Chuck have 4 entries into this competition?
How does Chuck have a 4.0 in all this?
Yeah, you're gonna see it. I'm a Kanye West my way in.
Chuck's gonna be sitting there like, I don't know, but I mean, one of us must really like Chuck.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and give you the rules. I know that you already know how it works, but just in case there's any new listeners out there, I'm gonna give the rules. Can you see Jimmy's screen there, my friend?
Yes, I can.
Yes, so you see how he's got that big old dick right there. We like to call it the big old dick. It is this old dictionary, this Webster's dictionary that's been Jimmy's family for thousands and thousands of years, longer than baseball's been in Japan. In fact, it's been with his family. And he's going to open it up. He's going to put his finger down on it on a random page. And he's going to lift his finger up. And whatever his finger landed on will be our word of the day. And then, of course, our guest has to use that word in a sentence. And that sentence is what we grade at the end of the season on how funny it was, if you use the word correctly, and how creative the sentence was. And that will lead to your spot or possibly not your spot on the top 10 list. So, my friend, are you ready to begin?
Yes, I am.
All right, Jimmy, take it away.
Odds Against Humanity coming in clutch now.
Yep.
This is what we've been training for.
Don't suck.
All right.
I forgot. I will give the modern day definition as well if it is archaic. So I have that.
All right. I think I found the page.
All right.
Let us see.
Love how focused you are right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Not as focused as you.
The word. Yeah. Oh no, the word is relumine.
Relumine.
RELUMINE. Relumine.
Rulamine.
To relume. The definition says to relume. Torlum. Feel like that needs to be defined.
Yeah, I will help define it. What's funny is when I looked it up, it is a video game that came up first, a puzzle adventure game that you can get. Nice. You can download on the App Store, apparently. All right, let me. It is. Oh, okay. So, rulamine is like the transition verb of it, but like the original verb is relume. It's an archaic word. Spoiler alert. It says literally on the definition, it's like it's archaic. To light or light up again. So pretty much to rekindle.
Oh, okay. It makes sense now. That makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Reluminate. Relumine, I think it's spelled. It sounds. But that's how you should say it.
I'd like to participate in this word as well.
Because how it goes with the dashes, it's like relumine. Yeah, so like say like that, I guess. Relumine. All right. So whenever you're ready.
Okay. So right before the show, I was smoking a blunt outside and a big ass bird flew over my head and it made me drop my blunt. And I had to relumine my blunt again to get over the anxiety of joining this show and doing this thing. Boom. That's it.
All right. There you go.
Got some truth in there.
Oh yeah. I don't know about the bird part, but there had to be a reason
something dropped.
You were cheating. That's all that matters. All that matters.
That's it.
Hell yeah.
Hopefully that's good.
That was great. Great job.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
You did.
Well, thank you for that word of the day, of course. And it was good to do the word of the day again. I feel like we haven't done it in a few weeks, so it's always fun to do it. But we're happy to do that for you, my friend. And we hope you get on that list. But like I said, it's very,
so too.
It's unbiased. Because like, I feel like we've explained this to people, but we all get on a Zoom call, like the four of us now. It used to be just the three of us, and we play them in order as they went, and then we rate. And on our own spreadsheet, we rate. So it's like, I don't see what Jimmy rated it. I don't see what Stephanie rated it. They don't see what I rated it. And then at the end, they add up and come together. And then we're like, oh, that's too.
Yeah. That's very fair.
It's a dope system that, used through the great technology of, I guess since 2019 or something like that. 18.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, whenever we start, maybe it was 20 when we started doing the competition. I forget what year. But yeah, we do it like that. And yeah, that's how it comes out. It's very,
Seems
it's
very
not
fair.
biased. It's completely like what, Stephanie might think someone's word was super funny, and I might be like, that was fucking shit. And, that's how it ends up, every time. Every time the number one winner, not that they don't deserve it, but I could say this, that I was a little bit surprised. Like, oh, okay, so that's who beat it out. But yeah, that's just.
So you thought I should have won, is what you're saying.
Sure, man. Sure. Every time you've done it, I think you should have won. I'll say that.
Yours are good.
Happy. Yours are, yeah. Chuck's. Yeah, I mean, that's why. Hey, you got really on it every time, so
When you told me that Chuck wasn't going to be on that, I was like, "There's a chance."
Yeah. So, but I mean, we got some other heavy hitters that have already done it. We got
right. Like I said, yeah. I hope it stands up. Oh yeah, O'Shea is another good one, man. Yep. I like O'Shea. a lot.
Oh yeah, we all like O'Shea.
Nice.
And yeah, but Shooter's been on there again, so we'll see. But hey, if it makes you feel any better, I think now you are our 11th guest this season.
Okay.
So there's a chance that someone is getting pushed off that list because of your word or not. So we'll see.
All right.
We'll see at the end of the season. We will contact you about that. But anyway, moving back to some sports questions, I think. One thing I wanted to ask you was, of all the sports of the big heavy hitter sports, which of those sports do you think the athlete needs the least amount of training for? Which I don't want to say it's easy, because no sport is easy. Yeah.
Oh,
but like if you had to pick a sport that you had to maybe train not as much as all the other sports, what sport do you think that would be?
To be able to just I don't know, like I guess to be able to just get out there and do things is I could say soccer, but my my nephew plays soccer and he does a lot. There's a lot of training. He's really good, so there's a lot of training he goes through for that. So I guess just to be able to get out there and get started, maybe soccer.
Okay, soccer for you. Yeah,
but
damn.
Does anyone else have their own opinion on that?
Yeah.
But before I say what I think it is, I don't know if it's right, but
and I'm only saying this because of my own experience. I guess you don't need a lot of training for track and field activities.
That's a good one.
Like if you are fast, you're gonna be fast.
Right.
Like I won the city championship in track and field, and I pretty much ran in Timberland boots because I couldn't afford track shoes. Like if you're fast, you're just fast.
Mm-hmm. If you fast, you fast.
If you fast, you fast. And if you suck, you suck.
Yeah.
You ain't about to get better. How long is goddamn Usain Bolt? He's 50 and just fast, and there's nothing people can do about it.
He's just fast. He's just a fast guy.
Yeah.
All right, so we got soccer, we got track and field. Jimmy, do you have your own opinion? And you can you can pick one of the ones that were already chosen, of course.
What was just to refresh my memory? What was the original question?
What sport do you think the athlete needs the least amount of training for compared to other sports?
So there's a sport in like Sweden where it's called Carry My Wife.
Okay, I meant like the main sport. It's like
I just be throwing them over the shoulders and sprinting. And then there's also one where you got to roll down a hill after a cheese ball.
Oh, I've seen that. That's actually really funny.
I want to. Yeah, I kind of want to do that.
That's a sport, man. That's a sport. So they take this big block of cheese, like a wheel cheese. They roll it down the hill, and whoever gets to the cheese first wins. But it's this huge fucking hill, and people just throw themselves off of it. And
you end up running, and you just start tumbling down. Yeah, no, that's actually fun to watch. The English, I believe, are really into that. Yeah. I mean,
that's dangerous.
Super dangerous.
I wanted to do that. I'm thinking about that. I wanted to do that.
Let's get a great morning, maybe like our 5th anniversary episode. Get all the people together, and we'll do a bunch of shit like that. Like, all right, Stephanie, roll the cheese, and then we're all just gonna fucking dart after this cheese down a hill.
I got a bad back.
Yeah. Yeah. My
Chuck will be in the ice bath.
I'll watch you guys do that. I have brain.
I'll be the ref.
mean, I am not.
Like I said, you can roll the cheese. And then
Yeah,
we
but
all go
I'm
after.
not trying to fall. You know what I'm saying?
No, you don't have
Roll.
to. You just roll it down the hill, and then that's it.
but what happens if I fall?
Yeah, you can sit. You can sit at the top of the hill and just roll the cheese.
Yeah, you
That's
can
what I'm
sit down
saying.
and roll.
You don't have
the
to run
cheese.
after the cheese. We're gonna run
Okay,
after the
what's
cheese.
thing? Oh, okay. Well then,
Yeah.
roll away.
You got to send
right.
the cheese. You got to full send it. That would be the one sport that's actually a sport in the world that takes zero athletic preparation.
Yeah, that might be that. That's a good one. All right, Stephanie, do you have an idea for the sport?
I don't know. Ice skating.
God damn.
Really?
When last time you went ice skating? I had a hard time.
Yeah, wow.
Me too.
I would not have guessed that because have you
God
seen
damn.
some of those Olympic ice skaters? The shit they can do. I would never be able to do that in my entire life.
You
shit.
were able to go in a straight line.
Yeah, like I can barely go into a straight line when I'm ice skating. They're fucking doing jumps and spins in the air, flips,
like,
landing
no way in
on
hell.
one foot. It's like, oh my god, Fuck
Stephanie,
no.
if you could do that, you can do anything.
All right. Well, I mean, I know how to skate. Like, you know, like I know I'm all right. Like, you know, but
Can you do those flips and stuff?
well, I can't flip, but you know, I can.
Can you do the
turns.
spins?
Can you teach me?
I could do.
Teach me.
I could do like, you know, like not like those like really crazy spins, but I can spin. You know,
Okay.
not crazy.
All right.
But
I
yeah, that's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Well, I mine to end this out, I was going to say golf. That was going to be mine. And the reason, like I said least amount of training. Not that obviously every sport is difficult to be good at. You need to train to do it. But like golf, you only work certain parts of the body compared to other sports. That's why I chose it. And like you can be extremely fat and play golf. Like fat guys go to country club and they play golf well. Like big dudes, they can fucking play golf. You don't need to be eating
golf
well.
is hard, man.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking golf too, but I was like, I've played a few times and I played enough to know like how terrible I am at it. You know what I mean? So like,
I'm not very
to be
good
able
myself.
to affect. I can barely hit the ball straight down the fairway, let alone just walk it up into the sport and being able to whack it down there. You know what I mean? So that's what eliminated for me.
Yeah, but that's why I worded the question like that. Not the least difficult sport, but the one you might need the least amount of training for. That's why I said that like that. Because like I said, you see, okay, like a great example, and I'm sorry to put anyone on the spot like this. And again, we're not bringing politics into this, but President Donald Trump, all right, again, no politics, that's aside, but he's a pretty heavier dude. I don't know if you've seen him. He's got some weight to him. And he fucking plays golf, man. And well, he's fucking out there golfing. You see him. He's like fucking got the tight shirt, gut and everything. And he can fucking swing. So like and that dude drinks like 8 Coca-Colas a day and eats McDonald's. Like you don't, come on. Like do you
Eat
really?
McDonald's?
I guess there's no like much athletic.
That's what I was just gonna say. He eats McDonald's.
Yeah, they did that thing where they and you know, some of it might be a little propaganda-ish, but he likes to drink a lot of Coca-Colas throughout his day. When he was in the White House, he was doing that. And then he would order, like, whenever he had, like, people come over, like, even, like, remember when that volleyball team was getting awarded by him?
There was the Clemson's football team also, or LSU's football team. I think it was LSU's football team.
They were probably wondering, like, ooh, I wonder what we're going to eat, like, fancy dinner with the president and stuff. And he got, like, just, like, 100 Big Macs from McDonald's. And they're all like, oh, all right. We're going to eat some Big Macs.
I can just hear him now. It's going to be amazing. I want it to be huge. Everyone is going to eat McDonald's because everyone loves McDonald's. Americans love McDonald's. Yeah. And you know what? Volleyball is an American sport. We're going to love McDonald's. It's going to be huge. Let's get all the platters out and extra large fries for everyone. And get me a super size Coke.
Yeah.
The best super size Coke.
Best one.
So, yeah.
Like, huge.
If you know, if Trump can play golf well, like, you know, I feel like, again, no knocking on him and his politics. Again, we keep that aside, but
he's rich though.
You guys want to hear a really fucked up story?
Absolutely. This is great. More.
Okay, so check this out. This is a super fucked up story. All right, so I'm on this side. We can maybe not so much turn it into a game, but I'm interested to know what everybody thinks about this. But I found this article called 35 People Who Fucked Up More Than You Could Ever Imagine. right?
Okay, I like that already.
And there's a title in this story. It's called "By Going Over to Cuddle with a Girl I Met Through Tinder." NSFW. I don't know what NSFW means.
Not safe for work.
Oh, not safe for work. Okay.
Yeah.
Check this out. I'm going to read this story. Okay. Tell me what you
Please.
guys think. So I'm now him. Okay.
Okay.
This literally just happened in the last half hour, and I'm still kind of in shock, confused. So I've been chatting with this girl on Tinder for the past couple days, and things were going well. Tonight, she suggested that I come over to watch a movie and cuddle. I accepted the invitation since all I was doing was watching the finale of True Detective, and this season has been confusing enough. So I make it to her apartment complex when suddenly my phone dies. That should have been the sign right there. So I run to the gas station to buy a charger since I already drove out there and I'm committed to this cuddle, right? I get into her apartment and everything seems perfectly normal. So we go straight to her room, since her roommate, quote unquote, a dude, was in the shower right next to the living room. Not even a few minutes into the movie, we start making out and it starts getting a little toasty. So while we're kissing, she keeps getting texts and going to talk to her roommate a couple of times, which I thought was odd, right? But then she comes back in and takes off my shirt. And then she says, I want you to fuck me right now. It catches me off guard since I didn't take her for the type, right? So then I knew something was up at this point. So I tell her that she was going a little fast for me. So I hear the shower stop in the other room. And then she says, do you mind if my roommate joins in?
Ooh.
That isn't really what I had in mind. And get up a little startled, when suddenly roommate guy barges in, balls naked, and says, I'm going to pound you in the ground. I'm going to pound you into the fucking ground. And then he gazed into my eyes and my dong went limp. And I proceed to sprint out of the apartment as fast as I could with my shoes and shirt in one hand. As I'm running out, he yells, I'm going to track you down. You better run. I'm coming after you. I didn't look back and ran as fast as I could to my car in shock and disbelief that something like that actually happened to me. Needless to say, I'm going to take a break from Tinder for a little while.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
You know what? I hate to be this guy. I hate to be the negative Nancy here, but I bet that story's bullshit.
What?
Think so?
I bet it's bullshit. Yeah.
You think so?
You think so?
Yeah. People go
I
on
can
Reddit all the time to talk about some crazy sex story, and it's just stuff they made up a lot of the time.
No, man. No, man.
Let's just say hypothetically it's true, right?
Okay.
What are you gonna do? You're like, all right, cool. So you got something set up, you got a little something lined up. You go over there, and then within 30 minutes, you know what I mean? Some dudes out there are like, I'm gonna pound you into the ground.
Yeah, see, that's where it seems fake, because it seems like it jumped to that quickly, and I feel like no one really does that. She said, it's weird how that transitioned, because she comes in and she's like, I want you to fuck me right now, and he's like, oh, we're moving a little fast, and then all of a sudden the guy's like, this other guy comes out of the shower and he's like, I'm gonna fuck you. Like, that's just like, why did it? And what if he said yes to the girl at first and starts fucking her? Would the guy have just come in and is like, all right, now I'm going to stick my dick up your butt? It doesn't. No, I don't know. I'm not buying it. Not buying that one. It's a good story. It's a good story.
I have to buy it because I've
because
had
it's on
my
the internet.
own. Not because it's on the internet. You just gotta live. I lived to, I've had my own bizarre stories. Not like that.
Yeah.
Close.
Yeah. None of that nature, but I've had some very bizarre stories as well. So it's not far-fetched,
I don't think it's out of the realm of impossible.
No, I'm not saying it's impossible. No, of course it's not. He didn't say like 10 aliens came out of under the bed and started probing us. He didn't say.
But would you believe him? Would you believe that story?
No, I would not. I would not. Who is good? Interesting. Again, shout out to another podcast out there, Adam Carolla. Back when he did Loveline, before he did his podcast, that was the radio show. He was an expert at calling people out, because that was part of the show, is people would call in and like say like, oh, this weird sex story they went through, a weird relationship, and he could tell how people were talking or how they were pushing through events, and he would just be able to be like, this is fucking bullshit, don't call. And like hang up on them, like, this story is bullshit. And I wonder if Jimmy, if you read that to him, if he would be able to tell like nah, that's not true, because he's good at finding out like how people would actually act in weird scenarios that involve intimate things. You're naked, so a lot of the times like some things get scary, you're naked, like you don't know what's going on. I don't know, I feel like, I don't know, That story.
Only way I could see a dude sprinting out of a girl's house is if that dude that got out of the shower. If his pecker was just a fucking
ready to
like
go.
man meat, like
man meat. If it was like arm length, if it was just a massive fucking pecker, and dude was like a foot taller than him, like then I'd be like, you know what, this motherfucker, he could catch me. I got to know. You know what I mean?
So what?
Like I guess, like if he was
fuck
my,
you, is what you're saying?
no. Like I'd run in, but if he's my size and he comes out, I'm just gonna calmly be like, nah, bro, I'm gonna beat your ass. I'm not down for this. But if homeboy, if he got a foot long pecker and he's a foot taller than me, I'm sprinting. I gotta get out of that faster. Yeah,
gotta go.
Peace.
Yeah, I gotta go. That's the only way I can see this happening. My man's had to be 5'3". Yeah.
I used to know this guy in the Navy that used to be able to like, listen, there's 3 types of men with their junk, right? There's men who got penises, there's men who got dicks, and then there's men who've got cocks. And he said it like that, and you knew like, oh. And he said that because this other guy we knew would come out of the shower and he had the biggest dick we ever saw in our entire lives. And he was just like, and Rivera, that guy, that motherfucker's got a cock. And he would say it like that. And our fucking like chief is sitting there like, what are you guys fucking doing in the birth thing? Like, fucking relax.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
What the fuck's happening in the birthing?
God makes those. You know what I mean? And if I saw one of those come out of the shower and he's like a foot taller than me, I'm just going to grab whatever I can and I'm sprinting. I'm out of the door. Yeah.
Out the door.
Yeah. There's a lot. Yeah. There's some questions I would have had with,
especially if he's testosterone filled and talking about I'm to the ground.
Yeah. Fucking Terry Crews walks. I'm
ground, bro.
Like, oh, nah.
I want
to not today.
I want to be able to shit tomorrow. I don't want to know.
You know what? They had like an accent. Out. We probably had like an accent, like a Minnesota accent, something.
What's the Minnesota accent?
I was that's the thing. I was just trying to think of a Minnesota accent.
You had a Minnesota accent.
I'm gonna pull you to the ground.
Oh, God. Kind of sound Canadian.
Is that Canadian?
You made him sound like a redhead.
Maybe he's from the country. He's like, hey, I'm gonna pound you to the ground, man.
Oh shit!
This guy from North Dakota came out of nowhere. Biggest dick I ever saw in my life. Scared the shit out of me.
North Dakota.
They got huge dicks over there.
I just wanted to add that in. That was just like some fucking.
No, that was funny. Thank you for adding that, of course. But I'm sorry. I feel terrible doing this because I feel like it didn't even go on this long. But we are unfortunately actually at time. We're at time. We're at that sad time. Unfortunately,
we're there.
I'm very sorry. We're there.
Man.
I know it goes by so quick.
Is it gym time?
Maybe for some of you. I think it's time for me to. I'm gonna pour whiskey all over my naked body in the tubs. But yeah, you can go to the gym if you want. But yeah, unfortunately, it's that sad time where we got to go around the computer screen and do our last minute plugs. So starting with Jimmy, my friend, can you give your last minute plugs to listeners? And I would have said Stephanie, but she disappeared. I don't know where she went. She's on Vyvanse and she's smoked a blunt, so she's all over the place right now. But yes, Jimmy, please give us your last minute plugs.
Shout out to the GOAT. Shout out to the one. Shout out to the all high.
Are you done? what?
He's talking about himself. Okay.
I'm not talking about myself.
Because you're a fucking genius, man.
Oh, thanks.
Who are you talking about, man?
You got the plugs. You got the handles. Remember, you handle the plugs better than me.
You're a fucking genius, dude.
Who was that shout out for? Now I want to know. Who was that for?
It's him. You're the GOAT.
It's not me, man.
You're the fucking one. You know what I'm talking about?
Who's the GOAT?
We are one.
Let me finish.
This is real.
Let me finish, man. Let me finish.
Boy.
You know what I'm talking about? That light you got, boy. You got that light that shines bright. You understand me? That's you.
Thanks, Uncle.
Shout out to you.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks, Uncle. Uncle Chuck.
Uncle Chuck. Okay. Well, hell yeah. Thank you, Jimmy, for that. For that, whatever that was. But yeah, okay, moving along. Chuck, our in-studio comedian, you got any last minute plugs for listeners, my friend?
Yeah. Hey, thanks for coming on, King.
Appreciate it.
It was a real good conversation. Hey,
absolutely.
And hopefully if you do come on, I would like to hear your bizarre story. So
yeah.
Yeah. We'll see if Merms believes
I gotta think of a good one.
Yeah. Let's see if Merms believes it. It'd be a good time. But
very sorry about that.
Follow the Instagram. Topaz Ken. It's gonna be a good time. Summer's out. It's summertime. School's out
It's
now.
summertime.
Does it
Kids
feel
are gonna
like
be
summer,
running
though?
wild. Send them kids outside. Send
yeah.
them fucking kids outside. Jeez.
Get them off their
Get us some sun.
iPads. Let them go get some sun. Let them go climb a tree, scrape their knee. Come on, let them be kids.
No, take their iPads outside. Just go outside. It's summertime.
We
gotta
got to the tree.
Yeah. For all you couples out there, reluminate yourselves.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Send them kids
we
outside
learned
with
shit
their
here.
iPads and take an ice bath, fellas. And when you reluminate, you will be more relumed.
Hell yeah. Love to hear it. Well, thank you, Chuck, for those last minute plugs. And I'll give my last minute plugs before we get into our special honored guest here today. My last minute plugs are you can follow Great Morning _ the podcast on Instagram. That is our Instagram podcast page. That's where you'll get all your updates about new guests, specials, new episodes coming out, all that. You can follow Trip God Jimmy. That's TRYPGODJIMI. You can follow Topaz Ken. You can follow Slightly Special with 2 L's at the end. You can follow You Love Step. You can follow all our other friends on there that we've had on the podcast. And we don't have another special update yet. We will soon, though. We're going to discuss that soon about our next special coming up. I know we'd like to do at least one for the summer as well. So stay tuned for that. There will be more information. But soon, I think maybe 2 more weeks. Maybe if it's even this week. I got to check again. But we're almost halfway done with this season already. Believe it or not, almost halfway done. So we're getting there to that. We're going to find out the top 10 for that word of the day sooner than later. So don't worry about
Coming
that.
for it.
Coming for it. And speaking of who is coming for it, King Hulie, my friend, thank you again for coming on. It's always an honor to have you. And please give us your last minute plugs.
Man, hey, thank you guys again for having me. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I love the show, love being on. So I continue to look forward to be on coming on the show. You can find me King Hulie _XXVI. This is Roman number 26 on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. I am the host of Truth Be Told Sports Podcast. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at Truth Be Told Sports Podcast, and on Twitter at TBS Podcast on Twitter. That's about it, man. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for having me. Shout out to White Mike and Hollow Point also, and my daughters. I want to shout out my daughters. One finished her first year of teaching kindergarten in Georgia, and the other graduated high school. So shout out to Kiana and Melanie. So I'm very proud of you ladies.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love to hear.
That's it.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys.
They listen to this?
Oh.
Listen to this. If they listen to this, I don't want them to, but it's for everybody else. Like, I just want to acknowledge my daughters to the world. You know what I'm saying?
That's
I was saying, like, we talked about dangalangs, man.
I know. That's how I feel. I remember like weeks ago, maybe months ago, my mom called me and she's like, Christian, why don't you ever send me the link to your podcast? I want to listen to it. I'm like, Mom, no, you're not.
Yeah.
You're not listening to it. Like, you're not going to listen to that. Oh man. Well, thank you all again for coming on, and shout out to Stephanie as well. She was here. She disappeared now for like about 10 minutes, but thank you again. And of course, and shout out again to our senior chief right there. Congratulations one last time. But thank you all for coming on. And the GOAT. That's the GOAT. Yeah. Thank you all again for coming on. And that was our episode. Great morning.
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 Great morning.